This is my end of season matchup chart because I want to talk about the end of the season. Um, Not matchup chart, tier list. Why are we tier listing? I just want to talk about my feelings with Guilty Gear Strive right now, and I could do that because it's my stream. That's what I would do because I feel like I have a lot in my head, and I just want to talk about it. You know better than Melia. Anything past like these two characters and Ram, I don't know. I don't know about the order. So anything like these characters, I have no idea. But Asuka up to Ram is ordered, and then I think Bridget Abbott probably the bottom of really good. I have no idea about these characters. These characters are too rare for me to actually know what's going on with them. But I know that they're good. But I will begin. I'll go back to this tier list later. I'll go back to this tier list. This tier list doesn't really matter. This is a rough draft. I'll just pulled up. Ordered, I'd probably put like Soul, Go Lewis, Leo. I'd probably do this. This is probably my order. I do think Nago is at the bottom of top five. I do think these characters don't have any bad matchups or very little, and he has some. But I don't think he has more, or he doesn't have the craziest win condition. But that's it. Yeah, I probably put Maya fourth. I think she's good. I think she's also just one of those characters that are just like she's gonna kill you. She doesn't care what character you're playing. She's gonna kill you. Really sucks. It really sucks. Yeah. This tier list doesn't really matter what my conversation is going to be about. I don't actually know about these characters, honestly. Like, what? There's like one good Elfelt out there other than Tempest. Johnny, this character is like heavy cope to be like bad, but like everyone fucking pops off with him somehow, and they just pretend like they're gapping. I guess. Bedman, look, I don't even have to say anything about Bedman. And then Zato, I don't think I've seen a Zato like legitimately play the game for a year now. But honestly, if I had to do this with no bias because I just get too much conflicting opinions, Johnny's probably up here. But there's too many conflicting opinions about Johnny where I'm not good enough to make a decision. I'm just straight up not good enough to make a decision about Johnny. Um, but nah, we'll get the tier list conversation over first because I'm about to go into my feelings and the future about how I want to play or how I want to approach Strive from now on. Zata should be in his own tier. Nah, I'm not letting Zata players have the satisfaction of having him so bad. I've lost to Macho so many times. And that honestly it might just be salt. It might just be salt. I'm not letting Zata players have the satisfaction. This game mid. Strive. Alright. Well, we'll get into the Strive discussion. Because that's where I want to go right now. So start this off. It'll probably be a YouTube video. This is my first YouTube video back, I think. Because I have not made a YouTube video for 6 months. So everyone, this kind of like what I've been doing, what I've been thinking the past 6 months, because like low key, I've been in my feelings about this game for a while now. Like probably like 4 months after season three. I've been pretty in my feelings about this game. Um, but just to start it off, Evo's this week. I'm going to be watching Evo. I'm not sure I'll be here for finals because I have my friend's birthday to go to, but I'll probably be here for because it's a 3 day event, right? Friday is pools, Saturday is top 128 to top 8, and then Friday, depending on how late I come home, I might be able to watch it. I'll be able to watch it, but I won't be able to stream it. I'm not sure if we can stream it, but I'm a small enough streamer where I don't give a shit. All right, so I'm surprised you doing simulcast to YouTube. I don't really care too much. I'm kind of here for myself. You know, I don't really. I'm not here to make it big. Um, I'm here to just hang out with the boys and girls and have a good time. Um, but yeah, I have not been streaming or not been YouTubing much because of reasons, and I'll get into that. But um, as everyone knows, this game competitively has been kind of not the best. And honestly, for me, it hasn't been the best either. Um, I don't even think. Well, it is due to white wall. Well, it's due to wild assault, but like I know everyone has a problem with wild assault. I have a problem with just like the direction the game has taken in general. Um, and ever since he's 4 months after season three, a little bit after Roundhouse, I kind of like didn't know what I wanted to do with this game anymore. And there's a lot of reasons why, and it's kind of like what I like about video games and about competitive games, and what I've liked about League and card games and fighting games is interaction. I like making a decision, being rewarded for my decision, and obviously the reward has to be pretty big, but I don't want it to be so big that the other player can't make a decision to beat my decisions, if that makes sense, right? Like I don't want the game to be uninteractive. I don't want to just press a button and I win the game because that's not fun. That's not fun with no anybody, right? I'd rather play a single player game. There's so many sandbox games I could do that in. I'm not here to just press a button and win the game. And ever since season three started, I have big hopes. If you go back to my season three or Evo watch video where Johnny got announced, I was actually really hyped on Wild Assault. I was like, look, this is a mechanic that like is really interactive because I have to burn burst gauge to break wall, right? And if I burn burst gauge to break wall, then let's say I lose on defense, I no longer have burst gauge. So now I have to make that decision, right? I'm interacting with the game mechanics with my opponent. Um, Turns out that was wrong. This is not even just white wild assault, normal wild assault, blue wild assault. It's every wild assault, and it's just how positive bonus works in the game right now, and how wild assault works is now you waste 50 burst bar, you break wall, or you put your opponent in a block string. You gain enough meter eventually because they're in a block string, and you break wall with super or something. Now your burst and your positive bonus is going up, and the game is basically over at that point. And the problem is, okay, you're like, oh, there was interaction. You probably shouldn't have got hit. The problem is, like characters like Ram, Kai, Soul, Go Lewis, like any character could just get on you, right? They could use Wild Assault to get on you, right? Um, like like you're over here. This guy has 50 bar. You don't have any burst. You know, he smacks you. He wild assaults on you. If it's white, blue, it doesn't really matter. He's now on you. You are now forced to eat some type of strike throw interaction. Take 60% of your health bar. Go through the wall, probably with a hard knockdown because you probably built enough tension. You safe jump at them, and the game is basically over, right? There's too much bar to work with, and that kind of sucks. There was issues with that with positive bonus with no wild assault, and now there's even more issues with that with normal wild assault. And that's my issue with the game is I feel like if my opponent doesn't want to interact with me, they really don't have to. All they really have to do is get it into a specific range where I can know where I have to respect them, hit me, and I am now respecting them. And the game is basically over from there. There's just too much offense in the game to make that you know an issue. And I'm not saying like everything has to be interactable because if I wanted everything to be interactable, I would play Street Fighter, and that's not even true in Street Fighter, right? Like it's not true in Street Fighter. There's Drive Rush, whatever, and but I don't want all of everything to be interactive because that's not what's fun, right? Like you want to be rewarded for being in good spots and setting up things correctly. you shouldn't be rewarded for just pressing a button, in my opinion. Um, and like I don't know, I just like my a lot of my heart kind of lost the game once I've realized that. Like a little bit out of roundhouse, I was kind of playing, and I'm just like, look, I'm doing really well at the moment because I was doing really well. I got top four of the new head tournament, a top eight at roundhouse. I was doing pretty well in online tournaments. I think I got like 13th or 17th at TNS. Like it was pretty close to top eight. Um, I was doing really well, but I'm just like I'm not really enjoying the game. Um, I'm not really enjoying the game anymore. Like I'm like there's just no interaction happening. Like it's either I win or you win, and like I'm just not having a lot of fun. Like there's no decision making in a lot of matchups. And like it came into fruition for me at like even at the New Mexico tournament, like, Darkrai, great player or whatever. We had a great set, around the first set. But then like once you start bringing these mechanics where the game is basically over into the game, like again, like I'm not saying I should beat Darkrai because I definitely shouldn't have. But like the game just becomes interactive. I can't play the game. Like the game's over. And like there's nothing I could do about it. There's nothing anyone could do about it. That's just how they made the game. I think they did want to reward offense and they still want to keep rewarding offense. But that is just I think there gets to a point where you are shout out Sandia Showdown, New Mexico, everyone go. Um, I think it gets to a point where you just can't keep rewarding offense that much without either making defense really fucking good and deflect, shield, and YRC are not enough, or burst. Burst is not enough anymore. Like, what, you get bursted out? You get look. You get bursted out, right? You're over here, you combo them, you get bursted out. He's still got 50 gauge. Like he's still got 50. He's just gonna do the same thing back at you again. Like the game's not like burst isn't enough anymore. You can't rely on these defensive mechanics. There's just not enough. So either you buff defensive mechanics with the increase of offense. So they tried. They made deflect shield a little better. They made burst a little better. It's just not enough because offense is just so strong. Like you almost need 3 bursts around. Um, and I was just like, I'm just not like this is not the game I kind of signed up to play. I know everyone will meme season 1 of Strive, and I'll look at the chat and answer some of the stuff. I know Tim and stuff says some stuff. And everyone memes like, oh, maybe season 1 of Strive, like Ram was not interactive. Yeah, I mean, like Ram was interactive, Soul wasn't really too much interactive, but like, and in order to get to that spot where they became interactive, they were forced to interact. How strong were they in interacting? Pretty strong, but I felt interaction. I felt like I didn't just win the game because I hit one button and the other player couldn't press anything against it, right? Like that's not fun. Like I don't know who at the drawing board thought that was fun. That wasn't fun. And it's not even Wild Assault at this point. Positive bonus and FRCs are very very strong too. FRCs was also a mechanic that got added, which I was pretty against when I saw. Basically, if you fast RC cancel, you gain a bunch of meter back. The issue with this, like you could make it if you do it fast enough. I think you could get around 40% of your bar back with positive bonus. 40% into a move that jumps is another bar. So you honestly don't even lose bar for FRCing, and that's another issue I have is they kind of fixed it with how positive bonus works now, but like FRCs are just too fast. Like there's just too much meter that's going on. And especially with the burst changes where you get burst back now with positive bonus, it just doesn't make any sense. I don't really want to talk game balance because again, like I could speculate, like it's up to them to fix the game. What I would do is I would make Wild Assault a very rare mechanic. I would go back and make it very situational, right? I would remove positive bonus, screwing back burst. I think losing burst should be permanent. You shouldn't get burst back just for winning a neutral situation. I don't know, like breaking wall, you shouldn't get burst back for that. Um, and obviously, like big characters get burst back way too fast because they take so many hits. Um, and maybe make the difference between charged and white walled assault different, where you're incentivized to use charged walled assault, which is weaker because it's slower, but it costs more bar, but it has a stronger reward. Like, let's say you break wall, right? Like, you break wall, hard knockdown, 75% burst. These are just suggestions, right? And then, 50 bar doesn't break wall, doesn't give burst, doesn't give hard knockdown. Um, but it is used as more of an extender tool. Maybe some characters could set up, you know, situations better. That way, let's say, you're playing Bridget, right? So you're playing Bridget, right? And you do like far slash into blue wild assault, and burst doesn't give, burst back, right? Yeah. Bridget gets to set up her Oki situation, right? Where she gets to mix you. But if she doesn't succeed, she now is playing the game with 50 less bar. And against a character like Soul, or let's say Go Lewis or Pot, not having burst in that situation is very scary for Bridget, right? So then it becomes more interactive. Like, okay, I don't even have to look for blue wild assault, because if I could survive the next situation, I have Bridget with no burst. Or she uses 50 burst, I have blue burst. I could blue burst her out, and now I don't have to worry about if she has burst next interaction, because I could kill her, or I could put her in a situation where it's bad. That's where the interaction should for this mechanic should have been, right? Like, you should be planning where you want to use your burst, and the defender should be planning how they want to punish you for using your burst. That's the interaction. That should have been the interaction from day one. We don't have that right now. I don't think they're gonna nerf it that hard. I don't even know how hard they're gonna nerf it. Um, but if we get back to a position in the game where there's a little more interaction, I'll be more inclined to continue playing competitively. Um, that or Dizzy. I think Dizzy would let me. I would man mode through it a lot of the time. Um, but I think we need to get to a point where there's more interaction. I want to play the game versus another person. I don't want to play a single player game. If I want to play a single player game, I could have went to go play a single player game. I don't want to play one. I'm playing Guilty Gear Strive fighting game. That being said, is my second point of where I kind of want to go with Strive. Um, I never wanted to play competitively because I care too much about being competitive. When I first started Strive, I just really wanted to just have a game where I don't really care too much about, but I want to be decent at. And I thought I could do that through helping people out and coaching and maybe casting. I think I felt like, like my League of Legends competitive side came out when I started doing well at events. I made top 64 my first tournament. Played a couple online tournaments. I did pretty well. I started being a little more, I went to my locals. I started, beating some players, and I definitely felt like the competitive drive, and I kind of threw everything out. League of Legends does ruin everything. I kind of threw everything out the window, and a lot of people were kind of like hyping the competitive side of me up, and I was like, I'm not a competitive player. I just kind of want to make guides and help people and help everyone else get good. And I did think I did that. I didn't think I did a bad job. Again, I'm not taking credit for any of these players' success, but like, players like Ryu, which were like here all the time, and asking for advice, and people like Luna and Chaos Nova and a bunch of other people that are pretty decent players now. I mean, you've probably heard of Luna and Rio for sure. I felt like I definitely had a pretty big impact on them, and Jish. Um, and I, in that aspect, I'm pretty happy. And everyone on YouTube, I know, like I haven't posted in a bit, but like everyone was like hearing all those messages. Everyone leaving the comments about how helpful my guides were pretty good. I do think when season 3 dropped, that's kind of when I stopped making videos because I took like a 2 month break to play competitively, and I did pretty well. I mean, top eight, a couple of things. I top eight, a couple things. You know, like Roundhouse was huge for me. You know, um, but when I came back, I don't think I knew how to play the game. I was still trying to interact really heavily with people, and I realize, and I still do that when I play Ram. And you'll see when I play Ram if you guys ever watch me. Um, and again, I'm not a bad player. I mean, like I think at one point in the game I was third best Ram, probably like in North America slash world. Third, fourth, fifth, sixth. I don't know where you put me, but I think I was like around there. Um, and um, where was I? I think I was talking about yeah. I you know like I think when I came back, you know, if you watch me play Ram now, I'm still trying to really heavily interact with you. I'm not just trying to press wall assault, make you mash, you know, put you in a really bad position. I'm kind of just playing neutral. Like I'm feeling like season two's Strive, and like people are just heavy RPSing me out, and like I'm just like, oh, I'm struggling. And again, like that also has to do with I'm not playing a lot right now, so I'm doing pretty bad in general. Like this is not I'm not wondering why I'm doing bad. I literally play the game twice a week for like ten matches in Tower and close the game because that's as much as I could handle. Um, but I don't want to leave helping people, and I do think I want to kind of go back into the line of more of a spectator, coach, and commentator than a player because I think that's where I'm happiest. Again, as a competitive player, this game is very hard to play. I don't think I would have a hard time playing this game because I love this game so much if I played this very non-competitively, right? The thought of going to tournament and losing to Nago, Go Lewis, you know, like who else do I have? Any of these characters, the thought of losing in tournament against these characters makes me very sad because I know when I play against Kai in tournament and the Kai is, you know, like one of the better Kais in the world, I'm going to get Far Slash into Wild Assault and I'm going to die. Um, and I will literally be sad about that. um, so Oh, sorry, I had to find this. So that's kind of where I am. I think I'm gonna go back to making informational videos. I don't know how I'm gonna make the videos yet. I'm also gonna make also YouTube videos about other things, um, because like I've kind of branched out into other stuff with Strive, like you know Yu-Gi-Oh and other things, and like I'm playing like other games on stream because I'm just not playing much Strive right now. So I do want to like maybe I make another channel and do those things, or I just add on to this channel. I'm not too sure how I should do it. I'll think about it. But I don't not against making guides. I do want to be more of like back into the commentary, and so I'm gonna be trying to get more commentary stuff. You know, we have the Fumo tournaments. I could probably ask my boss Wandering, you know, if I could hop on those more and maybe volunteer for other online tournaments. And I do have connections with some like you know TOs and stuff that I could probably ask if I send my like commentary stuff to. And then I'm also gonna be you know do the coaching and stuff. Back to doing VOD reviews and stuff because I think that was really helpful for people, and I'm here to help people. I don't think I like this game a lot still. Uh, I like this game a lot still. I don't want to stop supporting this game because it's just I have so many good friends that played, um, and I know I've taken the back foot for like 7 8 months now, but I'll probably slowly come back into making content for the game again. And then there's gonna be 2XKO in the future. I'll also come back, when that happens. But yeah, that's my thoughts about the game. Um, but we will be watching Evo this weekend. I'll try my hardest to be on stream to watch some Evo. And depending on the character and depending on the changes, I'm probably playing more Strive. If not, I'll still keep up with the game enough to commentate, play, keep my skill up. I'll definitely be going to tournaments, locals, watching tournaments. I pulled up and watched TNS today because I still like the game. If I didn't like the game, I would have quit. And I don't blame people for quitting because I don't think season 3 is a good representation of what Strive season 1 and 2 were. Because as much as complaining about season 1 and 2 Strive there was, the game was very interactive. And season 3 just took a lot of that out for me. So yeah, that's all I wanted to talk about with Strive, I think. Just basically in conclusion, my B for not making guides. I mean, not my B because it's making guides, right? Like, if I'm not, I don't want to, I don't have to. But like, I'll probably come back and make them. Another big thing for me is I didn't know how to make the guides anymore. Like, I just didn't know how to play the game anymore. So like, I was just like, what am I gonna make a guide for if I can't even put on paper how to play this game right now at like a more advanced level? Because that's where the guys were kind of getting. Like, I'm like, I don't even. I'm just doing the thing. Like, I don't even know how good the thing is right now. I'm just doing it. And that's what kind of happened after season 4. After like the first 4 months, I kind of figured it out, but I just didn't want to. This just wasn't my style of game. Be a successful Twitch streamer, yeah. I'll figure that out one day. um, but again, there are things that can make me come back to the game at a competitive level. I do think I did want to, like, if Dizzy ever came out, I wanted to be one of the top Dizzy players. Um, and maybe I start playing super super competitively again then. But at the moment, I'm playing ABBA. I don't think you could solo main ABBA, but I'm having a good time. I think ABBA's great. I'm playing a little bit of Ram too, so obviously I could make guides on both of those characters. So yeah, that's kind of where we're going and be doing more guides, more commentary, more maybe even talking about tournaments that are coming up and who to watch out for and stuff. Because I think that's all stuff that people are kind of missing, right? Like, like Varix winning Arc Revo. Like, who knew about Varix, before Arc Revo? Like, there was like maybe 10 people that I talked to that like, dude, they're like, who the fuck is this Varix guy? But if you're keeping up with Strive, you knew who Varix was. So maybe videos like that. I'll keep it figure it out. I'm probably going to wait till after the July patch to kind of figure everything out. So yeah, that's where I think I'm gonna go. So thank you for everyone that stood this on to listen. I think I've been yapping for like 30 minutes now. And yeah, I guess be ready for more content and stuff that's coming out. So yep, thanks for like and subscribe. I guess that's how you do it, right? I don't know. I'm not a YouTuber, but yep, there. You can react to this video.
How? How did they think that was okay to even put it in the game? I'm so.
Yeah, this is how I feel about White Wall Assault.
The trash.
This
it's
is how.
This is how. Playing the shit.
Yeah, there it is.
I'm fucking addicted.
Yep, he got it.
So I can't quit.
Yep, yeah, he got it. Nope, that's exactly how I feel about Guilty Gear Strive.